So welcome to the Altman trap. The Altman trap is just a simple method of just retaining a break while executing multiple turnovers. And this video will also serve as just a sort of basic introduction to the heel break, which is a lesser known break, but has its fair amount of uses, so it's probably in your best interest to learn it. I'll also be referencing like the heel break in other videos as well, so again, you want to learn it, so yeah. So this is going to be the longest and most convoluted history segment that I've ever done on this channel. Which is a complete lie, because this is actually the opposite. This segment is actually annoyingly simple, which is really annoying because I actually like doing research into history, but that's just whatever. So this move was actually first published in Advanced Fingertip Control by Ed Marlowe back in 1970, and Ed Marlowe actually credits this to Art Altman. And next to the name of the move, you actually see bracket Chicago 1956. Unbracket, or whatever it's called, right? That date can mean one of two things. One, that's when the move was created, or two, that's when Art Altman actually shared this move with Ed Marlowe. Which one is it? Well, we aren't exactly sure. But as of right now, we can actually just trace this move back to 1956. So that's the oldest recorded date that we have of this move. What's interesting about this move is that, well, this move was mentioned in two Marlowe publications prior to being fully explained. So it was in the Khaim move back in 1962, and it was also in the New Tops back in 1966. And that's basically the full history, right? It was published once and then was mentioned twice prior to that publication, and then it's been used throughout history. So very straightforward, very direct. It's just, it's something that we rarely see in magic history, which is really bizarre to say because, yeah, direct history is something that you would expect for everything, right? But no, this is the most basic and most direct that history can get. But without further ado, let's get into the heel break. So, you're all probably familiar with the pinky break. Think of this as the opposite yet complementary companion to the pinky break. So this is not a break that you get into by itself. It's more of a transitional break. How I'm going to demonstrate is I'm actually going to ask you to take out one card. So for the sake of explanation purposes, I'll ask you to take out the ace of spades over here. All right. So what you're going to do is that you're going to just take it out. All right. You don't have to place it on top. Just take the card out. So what I'm going to ask you to do is now you're going to hold the deck in a standard dealer's grip. And what you're going to do now is you're going to press the fat of your thumb, so this segment over here, against the bottom left corner of the deck, or wherever it is. You'll notice that just the slightest bit of flesh will actually go over the top of the deck. The rest of your fingers should be kind of off of the deck, so they're just sort of relaxed, right? Only the fat of your thumb should be on the deck, just like so. Take the card that you took out earlier and lay it on top of the deck, right? So you're going to lay it on top of the deck. And what you'll notice now is that the bottom left corner of the card is actually floating on top of the fat of your thumb, right? It's actually on top of the flesh that's on top of the deck, just like so. The rest of the fingers actually just press up against the deck to prevent this card from popping up on the other sides. So your left middle ring and pinky finger are up against the card on the right long edge of the deck. Your thumb goes over this card to prevent it from popping up on the top left corner. So it's just over here, just like so. So you can see it popping up. I just want to press my thumb against it like so. And then my index is up against the deck on the short front edge of the deck. So only the bottom left corner should be raised just like so. And that's the heel break. It's very simple. And again, you don't really get into this by just like getting a heel break, because you can't really do like a heel pinky count or whatever, right? You have to turn the card around and then get a heel break. And that's the heel break. So now that we're done going through the heel break, we can go over the original Altman trap. Usually the Altman trap is done after a multiple turnover. So in case you didn't know, a multiple or a double lift is usually when you actually lift multiple cards off of the face of the deck, right? So in this case, it would be like the Stuart Gordon turnover, which I know it's called a turnover, but you're actually lifting it off of the deck. Or but a turnover is when you actually just turn a card over. All right, so for the sake of it, I'll actually I'll do it with a double over here. All right, so do the multiple turnover of your choice, and as you execute the turnover, so as you turn this card over the deck, you're going to get into the position for a heel break, as we've discussed in the previous section. So press the fat of your thumb up against the deck, allowing for just the slightest bit of flesh to actually just overlap on top of the deck, and just let this card fall on top of that flesh, just like so. And also remember to just apply a bit of pressure with the rest of your fingers to prevent this card from popping up. So from all of the corners, there should be nothing, and even from the left side, your thumb hides it. But secretly, the fat of your thumb retains a break, just like so. Now what you're going to do now is that you're actually just going to flex the fat of your thumb against the left middle ring and pinky finger. So you're going to flex it towards the right. And what happens now is that this actually causes this card to buckle upwards, just like so. Right? So you have your heel break, you just push this fat of your thumb to the right, causing this card to buckle. And one thing to notice is that as this card is being buckled, my left thumb actually presses on the buckled cards near the, or on top of the top left corner of the card. So basically on the index, like so. And my index finger just goes in front of the card. And what this does is that actually just flattens out this card from the front. Because if I actually remove my fingers, you can actually sort of see these cards being buckled by the fat of your thumb, which is not something that you want to to expose, right? Because you're like, yeah, I'm doing a move now, and you don't really want that. So you just want to have this card being buckled, and from the front it looks like it's flat, but in reality it's buckled upwards. All right. So now that you have everything basically in position, now you're just going to relax your hand. You're going to relax your hand while still keeping your thumb on top of the buckled cards. And what happens now is that as you relax your card, this buckled card actually just shoots out towards the right. So now you can see that this double is actually just slightly, sorry, it might split, is actually just slightly side jogged over the deck, just like so, right? And again, you don't have to do anything. This entire thing is just caused by a relaxation, just like so. And just this relaxation is enough to cause this buckle to actually just shoot towards the right. And the reason why it shoots towards the right rather than to the left is because these fingers actually relax first, and the card and the thumb on top of the index just sort of pins it to the in position, causing it to sort of just shoot out to the right, like so. All right, so that's what you were looking for. But now that you have this side jog, this gives you the opportunity to do one of two things. One, if you stick your pinky underneath of this side jog card and you just square up the deck, this gives you a pinky break. All right, so just a simple squaring up of the deck while your pinky is underneath is enough to give you a pinky break. The other thing that you can do is that now that you have this card side jogged, your right hand can come over, pick up on these side jog cards, and just execute another double turnover. So the Altman trap actually gives you the opportunity to do this, right? So usually how I imagine that you would set up if you're a beginner is you would do a pinky count, you would do your whatever push off that you want, you execute a double turnover, right? You would display it around, you would do your other pinky count, and then you would just redo the entire thing, right? The Altman trap allows you to actually bypass that step, right? So you only need to do one pinky count, one pushover, one turnover. So now you're in Altman trap position, execute the Altman trap, and now you can just pick up on this double and turn it over. So now I don't have to do 2 pinky counts. I don't have to do 2 double push-offs. I just need to just execute 1 pinky count, 1 push-off, 1 Altman trap, and I can pick up on that side jog card and turn everything around. Right? So this move allows us to actually bypass those extra steps. So that's why the Altman trap is actually so useful. So there is a finesse for the Altman trap. It's going to be, well, vastly the same as the normal Altman trap. So you're just going to execute whatever turnover that you want. So in this case, just a pinky break. Sorry, that was a triple, sorry. You're just going to execute your pinky count, your double turnover, or your push off of your choice, double turnover, and then obtain a heel break. Now what's fun about this move is that you don't even need to buckle the cards. If you just release your pressure from your middle ring and pinky finger, look at what happens. This card will actually just open up, sort of like in a tilt position. So this allows you to do one of 2 things. If you actually just stick your pinky in between of this gap now, and then just remove the fat of your thumb, this allows you to get a pinky break, just like so, right? So you don't have to go through that buckling step. You can just do whatever that you want. Right? The other thing is, now if I stick my pinky underneath and then just relax my hand, this allows this card to actually just glide to the right. And this is the exact same thing. So now you're in the same side jog position as the original Altman trap. And this is all being done without the need for a buckle. Right? Because the original method I think was fascinating, but I didn't really like buckling the cards because, I mean, you're buckling the cards and it's actually kind of hard to do consistently, I find. So I think that just by doing a heel break, releasing the pressure, transferring it into a pinky break, and then just letting everything go to have a side jog is so much better. Because again, you don't have to do any sort of intense buckling action. Everything is a relaxation, which I much more enjoy for card magic. But again, if relaxing isn't your sort of thing, then just don't do it. but personally, I just love this action of just releasing pressure and then just allowing everything to just flow together. So that's something that's just a minor finesse on the Altman trap that you can do. So if you want to know more about the Altman trap and what other people have been doing with it, I can recommend you a couple of resources. One is the complete works of Derek Dingle by Derek Dingle, written by Richard Kaufman, Darwin Ortiz at the Card Table by Darwin Ortiz, Las Vegas Cardma by Alan Ackerman, Gagno's Inner Sanctum by Tom Gagno. And I mean, realistically, you could just apply this to any sort of multiple turnover that you can do. Throughout the video, I've been referencing this as a double turnover, but you can do it with how many cards that you want and with any method that you want. I actually rarely use the Altman trap anymore because it's, well, I used to do it really often because it was a lot more efficient than doing 2 pinky counts and then doing like 2 push-offs. But since I switched my double lift technique, there's really not any use for it anymore. But still, since I'm passing on the torch to you guys, I hope that you find this to be a genuinely useful tool, because I found it to be a very, very useful and versatile tool back when I was still using it. So I hope that you treat it well, and I hope that, you know, it treats you well as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, and yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and see you guys next time.